Welcome back, guys. This is Simplify Mechanic. My name's Thomas. Today's video is a 2007 Volvo S80 with a 3.2 liter. We're going to do an alternator replacement. So stay tuned and we'll show you how to save some money. First thing we're going to do is take the negative battery cable off. After that, get you a 7mm. Go ahead and undo this clamp right here. Take your air box out. I'm going to go ahead and undo this sensor, your MAF sensor. Next, we're going to take the intake manifold off and the throttle body. It's all connected as one unit. 10mm bolts here. Also, we have a second job after this. We're going to do a 2016 Hyundai Elantra. We're doing the front brakes and rotors on that. So after you get all 10 of these bolts loosened up top, you're going to be jumping underneath here, underneath the vehicle, because there's two more. These are 8mm right here. Need to remove them. And then we'll go back up top because it's all one unit that needs to be pulled out. Right here is one sensor and one hose. Once you disconnect them, you'll come back up to the top. On the left hand side, there's 3 sensors that need to be unplugged. And then you can remove it fully. Now if it gets stuck on the throttle body, you can remove the throttle body right here with 4 T20 screws. Now we're going to do the alternator. It's held in by 4 10mm bolts. And this is a weird alternator, and you'll see what I mean, how it's set up. That's the sensor on back of the alternator. Also the knock sensor, go ahead and take that out. We don't want it to break. On the back of the alternator, that's a 13mm nut. Go ahead and take that off. Here we're breaking the 2 10mm bolts on the bottom, breaking them loose. Now this job wasn't difficult. I just didn't have a lot of experience with an alternator removal on this Volvo. So it took us a minute to get it all figured out. Go ahead and remove them, set them to the side. We already broke the top 2 loose. Go ahead and take them all the way out now. We're removing the alternator. You're going to wiggle it a little bit, and then you're going to get a screwdriver and you're going to put it in there and pry it out, and it'll come off just like this. And this is what caused it to fail. This isn't supposed to move like that. The screw or bolt that's holding it in has failed, and there was a recall done on this actually. So they got a new bolt they made for it. We picked it up from the dealership. So right now we're putting it back on. You tighten it down nice and snug. And you can see the alternator is not attached or ran by a normal serpentine belt. It is that small little belt that I'm putting on right now. So we just clipped the sensor on back of the alternator. We're putting it back in place. Put the 2 top 10mm bolts back in. And hand tighten them down. What I recommend is just taking your time, taking everything off, because there is a lot of sensors and they're kind of hard to see. So before you start pulling everything out, just make sure you have everything disconnected. If you just go through this video step by step, you should be okay. Alright, we're going to be tightening the top 10mm bolts right now. Now we're tightening the bottom 10mm bolts. You don't have to overdo it. Just tighten them down nice and snug. Now the bolt on the back that holds the power cord on, that's a 13mm. So go ahead and snug that down as well. Now that you got all that on, we're putting the throttle body back on. It's held in by 4 T20 bolts. Now you might not have to take the throttle body off or put it back on, because you only have to do that when you're taking the intake off and if it gets stuck. But if it doesn't get stuck, it'll come out all in one piece. And I'll go ahead and drop the intake back down in place. Connect the 3 sensors on the left hand side. Go ahead and line up the 10mm bolts up top. Like I said, I think there's maybe 10 of them. I could be wrong about the number. Make sure you snug them down, but don't over tighten them because they are 10mm bolts. Once you're done with that, you drop underneath. We need to go ahead and tighten that screw up right there for that intake hose. You need to put the 2 8mm bolts on the bottom to secure the bottom of the intake. Now we go back up top, put your MAF sensor and your battery back on, and that's it. You're done. So now we're off to our next job. That 2016 Hyundai Elantra, front brakes, front rotors, charging them $110. So today we'd end up making $370 in about 4.5 hours. Welcome back to Semper Mechanic. We just arrived on scene. We're gonna go ahead and knock the front brake pads out now. So stay tuned. We'll get you set up. Alright, I'm just showing you some of the tools we're gonna use here. Now we're jacking up the vehicle. Once we get this bad boy in the air, we're going to go ahead and get this tire off real quick. Impact makes it a lot faster. Now we got the tire set off. We're jumping right into it. It's a 14mm, taking that top caliber bolt off. Now we're on the bottom. We'll just loosen the bottom. Go ahead and take them out. Go ahead and remove the caliber. Get you a flathead screwdriver and pop your brake pads off. They're going to be hard to get off, especially if they're wore down all the way like these ones are. Go ahead and set one up there on the caliber. We're going to push the piston in using our C-clamp and that old brake pad. You're just going to push it in nice and easy. Now there's 2 screws that we got to take out. Sometimes they're hard to take out, so this right here is an impact. You tap it and turn it at the same time, and as you can see, it's very easy. Works great. A lot of times without this tool, you'll be in bad shape. And the tool was like $15 at AutoZone. Alright, now we're on the back. I think it's 17mm. Go ahead and bust these 2 bolts loose, holding the caliber bracket on. Once you go ahead and remove it, set it to the side. Take your hammer, hit the rotor and get the old rotor off. And you get that new one on. We're putting the 2 screws that holds the rotor back in. Tightening them up. Putting the bracket back on the same way. Finger tightening it and then getting the socket, tightening them all the way down. After that, we're taking the old hardware off. We're putting the new hardware on. Got our brake lube right here. Putting it on the new hardware, so it'll be easier for the brake pads to go in. Also putting some of the lube on the sides of the brake pads as well. This way it slides in nice and easy and it won't squeal at all. Here we're putting the back brake pad on. Wiping all the grease off that new rotor. Now we're taking the caliper pins out as well. Go ahead and clean them up and put new grease on them as well. Putting them back in. Go ahead and put the caliper back on. Grab the 14 millimeter bolt, get them hand tightened, and grab your 14 millimeter socket and tighten them down. Make them nice and snug. After that, we just throw the tire back on. Very simple job. Good day for us. 4.5 hours, $370. Very happy with the outcome. So that's it for Simplify Mechanic. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, leave me a comment. Tell me what other videos I should do. Please subscribe. Simplify till next time.